So StroPro thinks they've really created the perfect all-in-one bag for photographers, but being the contrarian that I am, I really wanted to put it through its paces and see if I could complain about it in a few ways, to which I did, by the way. We'll get to that in a bit. I even ended up breaking part of the bag, to be honest with you, so. But there's a lot of very well thought out design features about this bag where I can tell it was just made by other photographers who were looking for answers that they couldn't find online. So let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Sergio and I'm a commercial photographer here in Victoria, BC. And in today's video, we're going to go on a couple shoots together where I did bring this bag, show you a bunch of the B-roll and some of those cleverly designed features that StroPro has included. Now, full disclosure, they did send me this bag for free, but they also included in the email that they really wanted me to tear into it. So I did. They really do believe in this bag. I mean, even the box that it ships in has been customized to include the name of what it is. I think they're really proud of what they've accomplished. They really want it to be for everyone, like the mobile studio that has to bring everything on set, whether you're shooting headshots or commercial work. It could be for the sports photographers that has really, really long lenses. Instead of having a bunch of different little bags, you can put it all in the same bag like this. It could be for the workshop or instructor who needs to bring a bunch of equipment to show off in front of their students. Or it can be for even like the very ambitious wedding photographer who just actually uses flashes, unlike everyone else. However, the bigger the bag, the heavier it gets real quick. The bag itself is about 15 pounds on its own. If you load it up, especially if you got a couple lights in there, you got a couple stands hanging on the side, you can very easily load this up way too much. And the points of failure, I guess, start to show. The wheels are very smooth, very nice. There's a bunch of reinforced components about this bag that I really quite like. But the one thing that is quite lackluster, in my opinion, is this top handle over here. Now the top handle has quite a bit of play. You can probably hear that in the video, and it just doesn't give me as much confidence as the rest of the bag. It's one of the standout features that was like, oh, this is very clearly not overbuilt. Some of the other bags that I have often have this as a clear point of failure, and unfortunately I think this might also end up being the case depending on how careful you are, how much you end up carrying this around, how much you end up chucking it off buildings, things like that. Now that is to say that the other handles, the one that is riveted to the top and the plastic one that's on the bottom that helps you pick up the bag just kind of like this, those are still very well reinforced and they give quite a bit more confidence no matter how heavy the bag is. The one on the bottom isn't quite comfortable. It's got just plastic, so maybe a little rubber gasket in there would be nice, but otherwise it's pretty good so far. I will say I do have the medium roller bag that they also have, and I miss the straps that go over the front that allow me to kind of carry it a bit more like a duffel bag. Those are a very great feature for that even bigger bag that is sometimes even heavier than this. So I don't know why that was omitted from this. Maybe it's to make room for the stand cans, which we'll get to in a sec. Yeah, that's maybe a feature that was maybe either overlooked, forgotten, or I don't know why it wasn't included, but I would have liked to have those extra little carries from the front. Now everything that's on the outside of the bag is very heavy duty. The material is not going to rip very easily. Everything has reinforced sides. It's got a skid plate on the bottom. You can do some pretty sweet back 5.0s up the curb. You can get away with quite a bit of abuse to this bag and know that your gear on the inside is going to stay relatively safe. You can accidentally drop a hammer on it. You can use it as a step stool. You could use it as a seat. Don't feel like taking it down the stairs? Chuck it off the balcony. I will say if you're going to use the laptop pocket, which by the way is absolutely massive, more than big enough for any of your laptops, it's not reinforced here. It's not a hard shell, so this is still a little bit fragile. Let's say if it's going to get squished or if it's at the bottom of multiple other suitcases, let's say, just be careful with what's on the outside pocket. And furthermore, on the inside, there's a few bigger zipper pockets that are just on the inside of this, and they will push up against that laptop pocket. So if you've got like grip heads or something in a really full bag, just be very careful and be mindful that this front pocket isn't reinforced. Speaking of reinforced, however, all of their zippers, everything that is on this bag has a YKK zipper on it, which is not just the gold standard, but should just be the bare minimum for every piece of equipment that you ever buy forever. You can throw away entire bags, you can throw away entire jackets, you can throw away, like, if you lose the ability to use the zipper, you might as well just throw out the entire item. I mean, I don't have the ability to sew things. I'm not well versed in that skill, so maybe that's a fault on me, but a failed zipper is so damn annoying, and I just love the attention to adding YKK zippers to this bag. everywhere except the stand cans, which is a really weird thing. So let's get into the stand cans. All right, so if we have a look at some of these stand cans over here, we'll notice that on the back, they have a very firm, rigid plate, which gives them quite a bit of stability. I've always dreamt of a bag like this, to be honest with you. I've always wanted the idea of just strapping stands or things to the edge or the side of the bag and finding a sturdy enough way to do so. And Stropro kind of designed that for us, and I'm very grateful for this design. So far, so good. I've been able to carry them on my Uber Eats shoots, where I'm often bringing backgrounds as well as a stand, as well as a tripod, as well as background holders, a bunch of things like that. And they're very versatile. They're quite big. If you're a fan of the channel, you'll see that I use a Manfrotto 075. It's very, very massive. It's a huge tripod. I end up using both stand cans, and I put one leg in each for a very big stand. But for any kind of regular size stand, I think they advertise up to their 13-foot booms. They still fit inside these stand cans. And the stand can comes with like a little Velcro strap over here so you can tighten it nice and tight against the bag. Even with all four loaded up, it still is super sturdy. Like, it doesn't feel like it's all like bouncing around everywhere, and it doesn't feel like I'm gonna like lose my stands while I'm walking to my destination. So I'm really impressed with the design of this. However, this is like the silliest thing. Why aren't these zippers YKK? Or if they are, why aren't they branded YKK? Like, it's so silly to me that even the inside pockets of this bag are YKK, and you guys make this big fuss about how much you like your YKK zippers, and as a consumer, I love your YKK zippers as well. Now look, this stand can is going to stay open 99% of its life, and if you guys were able to save a couple bucks, then sure, I guess business is business. But it's just kind of like a weird oversight that all the zippers, like these ones, are just regular feeling zipper. I mean, actually, I don't even know. They might also be YKK, but they're not branded as such. And it's just a weird oversight, to be honest with you. Now, we brought this to the beach recently for a shoot that I did for a big brand. I just can't necessarily share the details about it just yet. But I used this front strap over here to strap things, just use as like a D-ring, just to, you know, carry some stuff and just to make sure that it's easy to strap to. And I know it's still nice and sturdy, but at the bottom, we have like this little platform in order to have these longer items that we can just sit in and then keep them nice and tight up against the front of the bag like this. I think it's very useful. I know Stropro advertises the use of their long soft boxes, and you can like put them here in order to carry it to your set. But no matter what the thing that you have that is, you know, 18 to 30 inches long will fit nicely in the front. And I think it's a quite nice additional way to carry even more things out of the same bag. Of course, the more stuff you bring, the heavier it gets. But it was a very neat feature that I ended up using a lot for this shoot, where I was bringing I had a gimbal with me, I had 2 flashes, I had 2 cameras, I had a whole photo setup, a video setup, and all out of just a single bag. And I think that's pretty damn sweet, to be honest with you. Now, the regular bag comes with 2 of these stand cans, and the deluxe bag comes with 4 of the stand cans. And it also comes with this guy over here, which is a camera insert bag that fits ever so perfectly on the inside of this one. And I do say ever so perfectly because if you overload it and it bubbles out a little bit, it almost doesn't fit anymore. Like, it's really nice and tight. It's really fit for this bag. Now, I really thought that this was just gonna be like a crappy insert with, you know, some soft dividers where I could just maybe throw a couple things in there. But it's a full-on good shoulder bag. Oh, that's a nice bag. Like, the ergonomics of it are maybe not that great. Like, it's just a cube, so it's hanging on the side of you. It's maybe not like the sleekest looking bag, but for functionality, it's amazing. Like, the front top pocket is a very nice feature, so you can just kind of quick access either your first lens or your biggest lens with like an attached 70 to 200, and the EF-RF adapter plus my mirrorless camera. Like, it's all fits. It's got a front little zipper in the front, so I can add a few other extra batteries or a charger or some cables, things like that. It is super useful. And I know that the whole bag itself, the deluxe version, is like 500 bucks, but if you're gonna spend 400 bucks and you're only gonna get 2 of the stand cans and not get this bag at all, I feel like that extra 100 bucks is super worth it. Like, this alone is worth the 100 bucks. It's a really great bag that I've been using more and more for reasons that I didn't even think I would use. Like, I use it on its own when I'm not using the big guy. It's good for like a wedding photographer who has all of their cameras and lenses in this and can still bring stands and lights and everything else that they need to their shoot. Or it can be food, it can be props, it can be whatever it is that you need, but you get to separate like your camera and the fragile stuff from the bigger bulky stuff, which is a really great feature. You can even just fill the bag with more stuff and just keep this over your shoulder or keep this up here on the handle and just roll it all into your shoot just like this. Of course, the more stuff you bring into it, the heavier this bag gets. The biggest gripe I probably have against this bag, so far at least, is that I've already broke this silly little hoop D-ring thing that comes as a shoulder strap for this bag. So, much like a failed zipper can ruin an entire bag, a failed shoulder strap can kind of do the same thing, at least until you get a replacement shoulder strap. The design of this little guy is basically where the failure happened. It's a well-built piece, it's all metal, it looks like it's solid materials, but there is a barely 2 millimeter overhang where if you push a little bit too far, now it's going to pop out. And that's basically what happened on this side. I now have a basically useless clip because of it just will push out very easily. I can push it too far in and just the weight of the spring will pop it out again. So it doesn't give me much confidence in holding this. And it made me think of another little purse bag that I use, which is this tiny little shoulder bag from Uniqlo, okay? And it's got the same types of connectors. Let me show you. If we take a look at the tiny, cheap little plastic one over here, it's got a longer overhang than the Strobe Pro ones over here. And this is meant to hold like my keys. And it's got more security than the metal one. And unfortunately, neither of these designs are the appropriate design. Like genuinely, all we needed to do for this is to hook it through, give it a hoop, and now all we have to do is make sure that our rope is sturdy enough, and now it can be as strong as the actual D-ring is. We don't need to have these like crappy little additional hooks that like you have like 0.5 millimeter of play, when all we can do is just loop any old rope around it and boom, you got yourself a shoulder strap. So like, it's a silly thing to have broken, but also it's like, it shouldn't have even been a design feature to begin with. Like that's not how it should have been designed, in my opinion. I've been a fan of Strobe Pro products for almost a decade at this point, and I've been able to trust and know that their products are going to live up to their expectations and show up on set with me when I need them. And this bag, honestly, is no different. I'm pretty happy with what it is that they've been able to put together here. There's obviously a few quirks, and maybe the perfect bag will never really exist. I'll always find something to complain, but this is a pretty damn good attempt. When you're on set, it's pivotal to have a space that's just yours, whether you need to just go switch some lenses out or you need to build a camera, whatever it is that you need. If you have other little pieces of accessories that are just hanging around, having them all together is a great way to look professional and to just be professional on set. Whether that's carrying all of your stuff and holding them together in your closet or bringing them to whatever Timbuktu shoot you have to go to. Ooh, that kind of rhymed. I think this Strobe Pro Ultimate Expedition bag is the one you'll need. So if you're interested, you can click the link down in the description for an affiliate link to this bag directly. Leave a like on your way out, maybe subscribe if you're new here. Tell me where you would like to bring this bag. Tell me how much abuse you think you would put this bag through, if it was as much as I put this bag through in the video. And yeah, I'll see you on Monday. Later.